So, which is better? Is it Dungeon Lane or is it Flaming Pie? And why am I even pitting these two albums against each other? Makes no sense. Well, in many reviews of this album and in the comments below those reviews, many do say this is his best album since Flaming Pie. Some have said Chaos and Creation in the Backyard as well, but the majority of people say the best since Flaming Pie. But that's just the thing. They've said the best since Flaming Pie. No one has said this is better than Flaming Pie. I'm sure there are people out there that think Dungeon Lane's the best thing. It has been hyped a bit. It has. Even I think, have gone down the hype hole. That's a word, right? I recently scored this 10 out of 10, even though I don't like one of the songs. It's We Too. I think it's rubbish. Sorry. But this is still a great album. I'll probably give it 8.5, 9 out of 10. That's still high, right? That's still high. But the reason why I score it so highly is because as a piece of art, on its own, it's great. It's a great listen, apart from We Too. It's a great listen from beginning to finish, apart from We Too. And Flaming Pie is a completely different album to The Boys of Dungeon Lane. Yes, there's plenty of reminiscing, but stylistically, they're completely different. So you're comparing an apple to an orange, a dog to a cat. So why even do this in the first place? Well, it could be fun-ish. Both these albums do have something in common. Do you know what it is? Paul McCartney. No, they do both have something in common, and that is they both came off the back of Anthology. McCartney says in the notes for the Flaming Pie album that it was, the Anthology was a big influence, and it was like a refresher almost on how to write, how he used to write songs. And he got a blinding album out of it. And the Boys of Dungeon Lane, whilst he's been making this album, they were also doing the remarketing rebrand of the Beatles Anthology. I'm assuming he must have heard of what was going on. Maybe he didn't want to bother. I've seen it, he said. I lived it. My point is that I don't think it's too much of a coincidence that his best solo, you know what I'm saying, albums have come after an anthology. I don't know. I'll ask you. Let me know in the comments. Coincidence? You tell me. Now, thankfully, there's 14 tracks on Flaming Pie, and there's 14 tracks on Dungeon Lane. I'm calling it Dungeon Lane from henceforth. Now, the easy thing to do, the foolish thing to do, in my opinion, would be to just compare track 1 to track 1, track 2 to track 2, but then you run into situations where you've got completely different styles of songs going against each other, and that's silly. Like, for instance, if you want it against Days We Left Behind, they're completely different. So I've messed it up a bit. I still do run into some foolish comparisons, but I did my best with what I got. Before I get started, please do share, like, subscribe, comment. I'm going to have some opinions here. You're going to disagree with them. Let me know in the comments. I pretty much answer all of the comments because I've got no life. Oh, and also a quick reminder, please do check out the Beatle board. It's a Beatles quiz show that myself and Beatly Tone do. The latest episode is over on his channel with Andrew Dixon. Woo! And the next episode will be dropping on my channel very soon. And believe me, you're going to want to watch it. Okay, so let's crack on with this. Just going to give you quick opinions of each song if I can think of anything. Yeah, just let's make this brief. So from Flaming Pie, the songs we were singing, the album opener. This is a great song. It's harking back to the days of the Beatles, the songs we were singing. This is a great song. And that goes up against from Dungeon Lane, the album opener, As You Lie There. A song where Paul's wondering if a teenage girl is flicking her bean, thinking of him. So, the songs we were singing is the better song there, in my opinion. So, 1 point to Flaming Pie. Next is The World Tonight versus Lost Horizon. I should say at this point, I do like every single song, apart from We Too. So this is kind of tough. It's just one. I guess this is mainly based on what keeps my attention the best. Also, Flaming Pie does have an unfair advantage because, well, I've lived with that for over 20 years. It's not 30 years, is it? How old am I? Oh, God, it's nearly 30 years. Oh, God. Where did my youth go? So next, I couldn't pit If You Wanna against Days We Left Behind. They're different songs, different styles. So I've pitted that against Ripples in a Pond. Now this one was a shock to me actually because I do like If You Wanna, but it goes on too long. It's one of those tracks on this album that just like outstay its welcome. So I've got to give that to Ripples in a Pond. Next we have Some Days up against Days We Left Behind. Quite similar songs in their what they're banging on about. Banging on about. I've got to give this to Some Days. I've got to. It's a more beautiful song. Days Left Behind is really good though, but I'm going to give it to Some Days. Oh my God, come for me in the comments. What am I doing? Next is Young Boy versus Mountaintop. That's easy. That's Young Boy. So next we've got Calico Skies going up against Down South. Yeah, they're not particularly in the same vein. They're both acoustic. That's all I had. Calico Skies wins this one. Down South is not a favourite of many people. They like it, but it's not a favourite. And up against Calico Skies, it's not going to win. It's not going to win. Next is Flaming Pie. What could I put that up against? What would you put that up against on this album? I'll wait. Put it in the comments. I'll wait. Did you get it right? And by that I mean, did you have the same opinion as me? I put it up against Home to Us. Both great rock poppy songs. Flaming Pie. There, I've done it. Flaming Pie. I do like Home to Us. I said in my last video, actually, I don't know if you saw it, but this is what I thought would be a good idea. If Home to Us was just Ringo. You know, like when the Beatles would give Ringo a track. Wouldn't it be great if Home to Us was just Ringo? So, food for thought. Let me know in the comments if you do not like that food. Heaven on a Sunday. It's a nice relaxed song, and the one I pitted it up against, I have also read that some people think it's a relaxing song. I think the song is poo. It's called We Too, so obviously Heaven on a Sunday is going to trounce that, in my opinion, yeah. Next is Used to Be Bad, and I've put that up against Come Inside. Okay, so Used to Be Bad is one of the 3 songs on Flaming Pie, which really, I mean, they're good jams, but just, you know, come on, Paul, got places to be. I know you're enjoying yourself, but it's long. So Come Inside will take this. But Used to Be Bad's length isn't really the only reason why I'm choosing Come Inside over it. Come Inside is a cracking tune. Again, quite poppy, and I love the way it changes towards it. It's just a better song. So Come Inside. One for the boys of Dungeon Lane. So Souvenir, I've just had a change of mind. I did have Souvenir going up against Salesman Saint, but I've just changed my mind and I've pitted it against Mama Gets By. Mainly because Beautiful Night against Mama Gets By, which I had originally, that doesn't really work either. Neither of them work. I told you it gets difficult towards the end. But anyway, Souvenir is it's going up against Mama Gets By. Souvenir, I love the guitar riff throughout. That isn't it. You know, if you want me, it's just really good. But Mama Gets By, again, these are really completely different songs, but Mama Gets By, that gets me in the feels. And I think I'm going to have to, it's got to go to Mama Gets By. It's just a far superior song. There you go, I said it, superior. Okay, next we have Little Willow up against First Star of the Night. Little Willow is a beautiful little ditty. It's one of the few songs I ever learnt to play from this album. First Star of the Night. That's a far better song, isn't it? Isn't it? The problem Little Willow has is that not everybody likes the Willow. I wasn't asked to be on Flame Empire, gotta be honest. Looked over. So First Star of the Night, that's gotta beat Little Willow. It's gotta. Next is Really Love You, the McCartney Star Pens tune, which again goes on far too long. It's a good little jam, but it's not gonna beat Never Know. Never Know's far better, shorter for a start. And Never Know isn't really even one of my favourite tracks off of Dungeon Lane. It's just better than Really Love You. Simple. Next is Beautiful Night up against Salesman Saint. I love both of these songs, particularly Salesman Saint with the 40s band thing going on towards the end. I love the story of it. But Beautiful Night does have one thing that I love about any song. Whenever I write, I'm a songwriter, whenever I write songs, I try and make the ending different to the beginning. And Beautiful Night does that with a plume. So Beautiful Night is going to win that one. By the way, does anybody else really see Beautiful Night as the album closer? Because it feels like it. A, it feels like one. B, it's near the end. But my point, Great Day kind of feels more like a just chuck that on the end, kind of, you know, like a Her Majesty kind of song. Not an album close. It doesn't matter. I'm just thinking. Let me know in the comments. It's just I'm thinking out loud. And finally, Great Day is pitted up against the only song that's left, and that's Life Can Be Hard. Tough one. Great Day was one of those songs that I learnt. Actually, I was playing Great Day against Flaming Pie the other day. Turns out I haven't learnt how to play that song at all. But I don't think there can be really any competition here. Life Can Be Hard is a superb song. It's one of my favourites off of Dungeon Lane. Great Day's really, don't get me wrong, Great Day's really good, but Life Can Be Hard, Great Day. Tough, Great Day. Life Can Be Hard. So, final scores. Flaming Pie 8, Dungeon Lane 6. That score actually surprised me because I thought Flaming Pie would absolutely trounce Dungeon Lane, but it hasn't. But then again, if these songs were in a different order, then maybe Dungeon Lane would come out on tops. But that's just the way I've done it. But this is what it really comes down to. After all that, what does it really come down to? In my opinion, which is the better album? So apparently, according to my score, Flaming Pie is the better album. But when it comes down to something that I enjoy from beginning to end, and it's a great listen, it's got to be... Yeah, it's Flaming Pie. Flaming Pie is a much better album, and this is where I realised that maybe this album has been maybe a little bit overhyped. When you start comparing The Boys of Dungeon Lane to his other work, it does start coming down the pecking order quite a lot. But like I said, on its own, it is it's fantastic. It's a fantastic album. 8.5 out of 10. I changed it. 8.5 out of 10. That's high. And that's all I've really got to say on the matter. So, How would you have scored this? Would you have gone track by track, or would you have done what I've done and try to marry up similar sounding songs? What do you think? Is Flaming Pie better than Dungeon Lane, or is it the other way around? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. The next video on this channel will be the Beatle board with. I haven't got permission to tell you yet.